Welcome back to Baskin. I am back to Baskin, and this is the bonus video for Shadow of the Colossus. I almost said the finale, but no, I consider the last video to be the finale. This is a bonus one where I will be climbing the side of the Shrine of Worship. I can do this because I've beaten through this file, I think, about 4 times now, and I have a giant stamina gauge, which you've seen if you watched the Let's Play. You saw how big the stamina bar is. You're not going to have that on your first playthrough. And the only way to climb the Shrine of Worship is each time you play through the game and kill Colossi, your stamina bar increases, and so does your health bar. So you have to actually beat through the game about 4 times in order to have a big enough stamina bar to climb the Shrine of Worship. In the original release for the PlayStation 2, you can do diagonal jumps, which do not take any stamina, and therefore you can climb the Shrine of Worship on your first playthrough. They removed this glitch in the re-release for the PlayStation 3, from what I heard, though I cannot verify that personally because I don't have the PlayStation 3 version. These are the diagonal jumps you can do for some reason. From what I heard, it's that in the remake, not a remake, but like the re-release for PlayStation 3 is you can still do the diagonal jumps, but it takes away your stamina, whereas in this, it doesn't really take it away. But I have enough stamina from the multiple playthroughs that I can just do regular jumps and not have to worry about it. Also, there's only one spot on this entire tower where you can actually stop and fill up your stamina bar. Other than that, you're pretty much on your own with whatever you have and whatever strategies and tricks you can pull out of your sleeve to make it to the top. There's a couple tricky jumps. It will take you a few times, especially if you're new to the game. It'll take you a few times to climb the tower. If you fall a couple times, that's fine. You're probably going to die because no matter what height you fall from, you pretty much die if you fall off this tower. But I mean, you appear back at the Shrine of Worship if you die, and so then it's just like the walk from outside of the Shrine of Worship to the back of the shrine again, to this area, and then you just keep climbing, so it's not like a Colossus where if you die you have to start over and go re-find the Colossus and everything. It's definitely not that bad. The one thing I will say is that this definitely takes a while to climb up here, and that, to our right, there's a little ledge you can see. That is the only spot where you can actually stop to fill up your stamina gauge. And what you want to do is you jump up, let go of the grip button, and then immediately re-press it, and keep holding it. And therefore you'll stay hunched over on this ledge thing and let your stamina bar refill. And then as soon as it's refilled, let go of the button and immediately re-grab it. Like instantly, just kind of like let go, press, like as fast as possible, or else you'll fall and die. And that's how you get that stamina recharge, whatever you call it. I also want to say that due to the fact I've played through this file like 4 times, I had a much larger stamina and health bar, like I said, and it made the Colossi easier to kill because my sword is stronger. I think your sword gets stronger each time you play through. So for those of you, if you were like playing along at home or whatever, like first time, obviously when you play it, it's going to take you a lot longer to do stuff, not only because you're going to have less experience with it than I do, but because I did it a much easier way, which is like, for example, Pelagia. On my first playthrough of the game, Pelagia took me probably close to an hour. It was really difficult, which is the 12th one, the big, like, kind of alien one, and you have to, like, hit its teeth to make it go towards one of the islands. And that one's really difficult. Like, it's very time-consuming on a first playthrough. And realistically, you're going to have to climb on its udder about 3 times, and I think I only had to climb on it once. I only had to stab it once or twice. But I only had to climb on it once, which is amazing, because usually it takes several tries, especially on your first one. So, and it's because I managed to get 2 huge sword stabs in. And getting right here, you're supposed to grab this ledge to the right of me, and it's easily the most difficult part of this whole thing. Because you can waste a lot of energy trying to grab onto it. And it's a very weird angle that you have to get. But I finally got it, so there we go. But yeah, so if you were playing along, Pelagia would probably take you a lot longer and more tries of getting on it than it did for me. That isn't to say like you're a bad player or anything, like, oh yeah, you suck because you didn't do it like I did, but it's just, you know, like I have a much bigger stamina bar so I can hold on longer, especially against stuff like Bassaran, the 9th one that I really hate, and a bigger health bar so I don't die against nearly as much stuff. For example, if you were to face Dirge, the 10th one, one hit from him would take about 9/10 of your health bar, whereas for me, it would probably be less than half. So yeah. Anyways, right here, as soon as we finish climbing this moss, that's all weird. Can we climb, please? Or jump, or something? This is the top of the Shrine of Worship. This right here is the doorway you came in at the beginning of the game, and also the doorway that Iman and all of his people left on. And you can also see, across the land and stuff. I don't want to risk falling off the edge, but see, you can see across the land and stuff, see some nice stuff. That's the bridge right there that leads out. From what I heard, I don't know if it's true or not, but I assume so, is that if you can cross the bridge. From what I heard, it takes about 10 minutes to run across the bridge, and you can't bring aggro up here, so you have to, I don't know why I can't get up there. It looks like I can go up there. You can't bring aggro up there, so you have to run across. It takes about 10 minutes to run across that bridge, and at the end of it, there's, like, a gust that pushes you back, so basically you can't leave the land, you know. It's basically the developer's way of being like, yeah, you can't go past here, there's nothing here. I'm sure with glitching and stuff you could probably go back there, but there probably wouldn't be much, and not a lot of textures or collision detection or anything. Back here is the secret garden. You would have seen it in the final credits of the game, when Mono and Aggro come up here together. There's fruits all around in the trees. I do not advise eating the fruits, but I may do it just to show off kind of what it does. Basically, see if I can get my bow and arrow. Get my special bow and arrow that I have. These are the fruits, and if you shoot them, they do something interesting that I can show you. Now watch my health and stamina bar closely when I actually try to eat one in a bit, because I want to explore around a bit. I've never actually been up here before, believe it or not. I've never come up here before. What happens is the fruits decrease your health and stamina, and there's enough in here to bring you basically down to like the bare minimum that you started out with on your first playthrough. And I think it's kind of like the developer's way of kind of like teasing you of like, oh, hey, you made it here in this secret area, so we're gonna punish you for it. I also heard there is an alternate ending for this game where, if you remember during the final credits, Aggro is revealed to be alive, although with a limp, and shows up in the Shrine of Worship to greet Mono, and Mono acts as if she knows Aggro, which she probably does. And there's the part where Mono goes up and touches Aggro's head. It's still in the credits, and apparently I heard that in the original draft of the game story, it was supposed to be that the moment Mono touches Aggro's head like that, Mono gets flooded with all the memories. Like, she suddenly sees like all the battles that Wander was in against the other Colossi. And, which I thought would have been cool, you know, like as soon as she touches Aggro, she suddenly sees like, oh yeah, Wander fighting Kuramori, and Wander fighting Bassaran, and Wander fighting Dirge, and all this stuff, and just all the battles and stuff. Which I thought would have been cool, because it would be Mono's way of kind of getting like any kind of idea of what happened, and like leading up to like how she got to be where she was, and maybe like Iman, she kind of knew the lore of like how if you killed the 16 Colossi, then Dorman would be revived, and it would cost Wander his soul or whatever. And so maybe, you know, if that happened, she would know like, oh yeah, Wander must have done this to bring me back, because the legends of their tribe or whatever. This idea they had was discarded for what is potentially obvious reasons. Is also, see the health and stamina bar going down. The really obvious reason is that Aggro was not present for a lot of the Colossi fights. For example, Kuramori or Malice, the final one. And you know, there were some Colossi that Aggro just couldn't get to, or ones she wasn't there for, or whatever. And therefore, it would be hard for Aggro to kind of do that, you know, like just be able to share those memories that she wasn't present for. An idea someone did give is that maybe Aggro showed up and she had like a piece of like Wander's clothing in her mouth, like a torn piece of his shirt or something, and Mono takes that out of Aggro's mouth, and as soon as she touches it, it's like bound with the memories of Wander's journey in the Forbidden Lands. Which wouldn't be too far-fetched, because I mean, you know, the final credit scene does kind of get a little bit like weird with like a lot of the like enigmas of the mystical, or whatever you want to call it. It's a How I Met Your Mother reference, but yeah. But I mean, like, you know, there's no denying that, like, I mean, the whole game is kind of like fictional, obviously. It's a very fantasy setting, but there's no denying that towards the very end of the game, it gets very much kind of sorcery aimed. It's just like, like Iman just throws his sword in a pool and it causes the whirlwind that sucks all evil out of the world and all that jazz. I also wanted to say that every video of this Let's Play, for those who didn't know or didn't figure it out, every video in the Let's Play's title was taken from a TV show I enjoy. Like not individual, like one episode took a title from South Park, one took an episode from Family Guy, whatever. No, I mean like there's one TV show I really like. I've actually talked about it in a couple Let's Plays, so it should be probably easy to figure out. There's one TV show I was watching, and every video in this Let's Play has been named after episodes from that TV show. So it'll be interesting to see if anybody can figure that out. I'm sure people are just gonna like Google the titles I put on these videos and be like, oh yeah, it's this show, duh. I want to see if anybody actually just knows, just based off the things. Because a lot of them are named after songs and stuff, because the show has a lot of like rock and roll references, and it's about, sex, drugs, and rock and roll, essentially, the whole show is. And so, like, one of the episodes is titled The Way of the Fist, and that's also what I named the video for Colossus 15. And so, like, when I saw that episode of the TV show, I was like, oh, this is the name of an album from Five Finger Death Punch. This is a band I know of. I used to be really big into them, not so much anymore. But I was like, oh yeah, and then the more I looked into it, like several of the episodes were named after like bands or albums or songs or whatever else. And so, I don't know if you'll be able to, because like if you Google like, oh yeah, The Way of the Fist to see what episode title that was, it's probably just going to bring up the Five Finger Death Punch album, and you'll be like, well, this isn't a TV show. So it'll be interesting to see if anybody can figure that out. Right now I'm just kind of running around. I'm wandering around. Like, stop it. You're not funny. Just copying Nintendo Capri Sun. I'm wandering around getting the getting the stupid fruit things. As you can see, my health and stamina bar have gone down dramatically or drastically. Either of those words is really good. Like the emphasis in like drastically. It's just a very emphatic word. Like emphatic. You're strong and emphatic. The last thing I wanted to say is I plan on doing a second Let's Play of this game. Everyone's like, oh my god, Shadow of the Colossus again. Well, I love Shadow of the Colossus, so I never get tired of it. It's evident in like my 5 million save files on here that I played through each like 5 times. I want to say though, I've never played Shadow of the Colossus on hard mode. And apparently it's actually different in that, the Colossi have, they have different sigils. So like, like what was previously like, like one of the Colossi would have like a sigil on its head that you have to stab. It would instead be on like its leg or something, and you have to figure out how to get to that. I honestly don't know where any of them are, and I would not look it up because I was thinking of potentially down the road I was going to do a blind run through of Shadow of the Colossus on hard mode. I know some people are going to be like, well, you've played Shadow of the Colossus regular and you know the whole story, so is it really blind? And I suppose not in that way, but I think it would make it a better playthrough, honestly. And that, like, whenever you see a blind playthrough, I always see the people complaining, because it's like, the person playing usually, like, misses stuff. Like, if you go watch Super Genius's Resident Evil 4 Let's Play, tons of people yell at him in the comments for missing stuff and not knowing what to do in his blind Let's Play of it. And, I wouldn't want that. And, if it's Shadow of the Colossus hard mode, I've never done it, so it's technically blind, because I wouldn't know where all their sigils are, and I have to figure out how to redo it and everything. But at the same time, it's not a completely blind game where I just straight up don't know what to do and get lost and stuff. So I think it could be an interesting endeavor. I do want to do other stuff first, though. I honestly kind of want to finish up my Resident Evil 4 Let's Play, because I kind of stopped it like partway through. Kind of threw it on a hiatus because I got really burnt out on it for a while. I also still want to do Wind Waker because I'm really stoked for that, and Legacy of Goku 2, and Boo's Fury, and Dragon Ball Z Sagas, and Luigi's Mansion, and Ocarina of Time, and Majora's Mask, and Metroid Prime. I'll be talking about this in a future Let's Play, probably Wind Waker actually, but I just got Metroid Prime recently, and I've been playing it, and my god, it's so great. I love it. I will definitely be Let's Playing it at some point. And I just have a lot of stuff planned. I don't know exactly what is and isn't going to be scrapped. If you look on my channel, I have a little thing under my About section that lists like all my potential future Let's Plays. And you can look on that. Like the stuff at the top is what's most likely going to be done next. Like I think I put Wind Waker at the very top because that's what I've been wanting to do. And then like towards the bottom is like a few Pokemon games because I get really burnt out on playing Pokemon. So I kind of, if like at one point I just kind of spur the moment like, yeah, I want to play a Pokemon game, then I'll Let's Play one. But I'm not going to like bank on it or put it at the top of the list like, yeah, Pokemon game, or really plan for it or anything. But I'm really kind of enjoying just exploring this, like just trying to talk about stuff and explore this area and try to find all the fruits. Like I said, I've never been up here, so it's kind of interesting. This is, you guys are seeing this for the first time, just like me, unless you've seen this area before. In which case, you've seen it before. But I've seen other people on YouTube go here before, which is how I learned how to get up here. So I've seen this up here before, but this is my first time actually being up here myself. This is the first time my wander has been up here. It's the first time he's wandered up here. And stop it, you're not funny. Yeah. I can't do that voice Tim does in his, it's like in the 10th video of his Shadow of the Colossus Let's Play. Actually, it might be like the 11th, because I don't remember if he split the intro and first Colossus videos or not. I don't remember if it was before the 10-minute split. Basically, they had this point on YouTube where, like, videos, you couldn't upload a video longer than, like, 15 minutes. So Tim would usually, Nintendo Capri Sun, would usually split his videos in, like, 10-minute increments. And so if you look, like, his Twilight Princess Let's Play is, like, 120 videos. Same with, like, Wind Waker and Ocarina of Time. Whereas, like, they bumped it up to, like, oh, yeah, you can upload, like, whatever amount of time you want for a video. And then so Tim was able to do, like, 30-minute Ocarina of Time videos and did a 3-heart run. That was, like, 40 videos or something. So there's like that split where at one point in YouTube, all of a sudden YouTube was just like, yeah, there's no longer a limit on uploads. You can do whatever. And I just hit my hand. I'll probably have to like quiet that down. And editing. Also, speaking of editing, I do at some point want to make a video of my setup thing, because I don't know if anybody's wondering like, oh, what's your Let's Playing setup? It's kind of MacGyvered and very. It's not anything I recommend anyone replicating, if I can talk. It's kind of an ego stroke for me, but basically anytime I explain my setup to people, they go like, there's no way that could work for anybody, and I make it work, and everybody compliments like, for having that kind of shitty setup, your videos come out pretty well. And in the most basic way I can explain this, I record all my audio on an MP3 player, and I edit all my videos on Windows Movie Maker. So if that gives you any idea, MP3 player, Windows Movie Maker. That is the bulk of my editing, along with Audacity. But I know a lot of professionals who even use Audacity. Did I get all the fruits and stuff? Look at this weird grass texture. Oh god, it's so weird. But basically I use Audacity, Windows Movie Maker, and an MP3 player, and it turns out in this kind of quality you're seeing, which I think is not too bad. I mean, I've seen tons of worse from people with better setups than me. Like, let me say what you will. I can list off lots of Let's Players who have better setups than me by far and make a lot worse content than me. And I'm not going to name any of those people because I'm not going to be that guy. It's just like, oh, and this person sucks, and this person sucks, except for someone like PewDiePie. Of course, I'm going to be like, yeah, they suck because I don't like them. But generally I'm trying to avoid more often now, trying to like not just straight up shit talk people and just kind of be like, whatever. I still don't like PewDiePie, and I'm never going to, but I'm trying to avoid less of being just like, oh yeah, PewDiePie's a piece of shit and fuck him, he sucks. I'm kind of being like, yeah, if people like him, whatever. I don't. It's just kind of, it's just a point in time where you kind of reach a more mature level, or you just kind of stop just shitting on everything. But it's also kind of like unfortunate that, like sometimes I see the people who are in like their 30s or 40s, 50s, 60s, whatever on Facebook who are just like aimlessly shit talk things. And they're like, oh, this sucks and nobody should like it because I don't like it. And that kind of thing. It's just like, just fucking, if someone enjoys something, then whatever. I don't, but that doesn't mean like, just because I don't like something doesn't mean I'm going to say like someone else can't. Like I'm going to be like, yeah, I don't like PewDiePie. I never will. But if someone else does, I mean, I'm not going to say they have the best taste in and Let's Players, but if that makes him happy, then more power to him, and whatever. Yeah, I don't know if that makes sense or whatever. I'm sure I probably talked about that in another Let's Play. It's kind of what it always goes to. Anyways, I think I'm just about out of fruits here. There's not much else to explore because this place is so small. And we're already at 20 minutes, so I probably want to end this pretty soon. I did want to say, though, I loved doing this Let's Play. I was very happy with doing this Let's Play because I love this game to death. I'm very happy and appreciate it a lot if anybody actually watched it all the way through and enjoyed it and anything else, like, thank you for watching. So I'm back to Baskin, and this has been Shadow of the Colossus. I will see you in the future.